The Doll's House, a short story by Catherine Mansfield. As the story opens, the Brunel children have just received a doll's house. When they first see the inside, the girls are beside themselves with joy. All the walls are papered. Among the tiny treasures are carpets, plush chairs, a cradle, and a stove. For Keziah, the youngest sister, the best treasure is the lamp. It stood in the middle of the dining room table, an exquisite little amber lamp with a white glow. It was even filled all ready for lighting, though, of course, you couldn't light it. The next morning, the children are eager to brag to their classmates about their new doll's house. "I'm to tell," said Isabel, "because I'm the eldest." The younger sisters do not argue. They also keep silent when Isabel says that she can choose who will first come to the courtyard to see the doll's house. Before the bell rings, Isabel quickly whispers to the nearby girls that she has something to tell them at playtime. When playtime comes, she is surrounded by girls. The only two who do not approach are the Kelvies. Many of the children, including the Brunels, were not allowed to even speak to them. They walked past the Kelvies with their heads held in the air, and as they set the fashion in matters of behavior, the Kelvies were shunned by everyone. The Kelvy sisters stand outside the ring of excited girls, listening. They are the daughters of the washerwoman. They dress in material that come from houses their mother cleans. Stout Lil's dress is made of a tablecloth. Her little sister, who wears boys' boots, is always clinging to Lil's skirt. According to rumors, their father is in prison. As Isabel's voice, so very proud, went on telling, the carpet made a great sensation, but so did the beds with real bedclothes and the stove with an oven door. When she finished, Keziah broke in. "You've forgotten the lamp, Isabel." Isabel describes the little lamp, though Keziah thinks she fails to capture its charm. Later, Emmy Cole and Lena Logan come home with the Brunels to see the doll's house. As the days go by, more and more girls come. All the talk is about the doll's house. The Kelvy girls just listen. At last, everyone has seen it but them. On the day the subject rather flagged. It was the dinner hour. The children stood together under the pine trees, and suddenly, as they looked at the Kelvys eating out of their paper, always by themselves, always listening, they wanted to be horrid to them. Emmy Cole whispers to the girls that Lil is going to be a servant when she grows up. Lena Logan looks at the others meaningfully and wonders aloud if she should ask Lil. Another girl, Jessie May, does not think Lena has the nerve, but Lena says she's not afraid. She glides her way playfully up to Lil and asks if it's true that she'll be a servant one day. Lil didn't seem to mind the question at all. What a sell for Lena! The girls began to titter. Lena couldn't stand that. She put her hands on her hips and she shot forward. "Yeah, your father's in prison." Thrilled with the nerve Lena has shown, all the other little girls rush away to skip rope. When the Brunel children get home, guests are visiting. Isabel and Lottie happily stay, but Keziah steals out to the back where she swings back and forth on the courtyard gate. She spots the Kelvy sisters walking in her direction and invites them to come see the doll's house, but Lil shakes her head no. She says that Keziah's mother told their mother Keziah was not allowed to speak to them. "Oh well," said Keziah. She didn't know what to reply. "It doesn't matter. You can come and see our doll's house all the same. Come on, nobody's looking." But Lil shook her head still harder. "Don't you want to?" asked Keziah. Suddenly there was a twitch, a tug on Lil's skirt. She turned around. Our Elsie was looking at her with big, imploring eyes. Lil starts to move forward, and Keziah leads them to the doll's house. Lil breathes loudly while her little sister stands perfectly still. Then Keziah opens the house and starts to show them the splendors within. Someone calls her name, which startles all the girls. At the back door stands Keziah's aunt, Burl. "How dare you ask the little Kevays into the courtyard?" said her cold, furious voice. "You know as well as I do you're not allowed to talk to them. Run away, children. Run away at once. Aunt Burl has had an awful afternoon." She has received a threatening letter from a man named Willie Brent. He says to meet him that night. If she doesn't, he will come to the front door. However, frightening the Kelvies, those little rats, relieves Aunt Beryl of her own fears. Out of sight of the Brunells' house, the Kelvies sit down on a drain pipe to rest. Presently, our Elsie nudged up close to her sister, but now she has forgotten the cross lady. She put out a finger and strokes her sister's quill. She smiles her rare smile. "See the little lamp," she said softly. Then both were silent once more.